I'm 74 years old, and I'm about to share something that might shake you up or even make you angry. Pretty much everything you've been told about growing old, about how to live a good life, is fundamentally mistaken. The worst part? The people who should have warned you, your parents, teachers, society, they either believe the same myths or stay silent. For the first 50-plus years of my life, I lived exactly like most of you probably do now. I had the impressive job, the big house, the respect of colleagues, financial security. I thought I'd done it all right. But at 53, something happened that turned my world upside down. What I've learned in the 20 years since has completely reshaped how I view life, death, and everything in between. Before I get into what happened, understand this. I'm recording this not to show off some newfound wisdom. I'm doing it because I can feel time slipping away, and there are truths you need to hear while there's still a chance. Not for my sake, for yours. At 53, I had a heart attack. I was in the middle of a boardroom presentation, going over quarterly numbers, when everything went black. I woke up in intensive care. Wires everywhere, my wife sobbing by the bed. The doctor said, "You're lucky to be alive." Lucky. I just stared death in the face, and they called it luck. But he was right. Lying there with nothing but my thoughts, I realized something terrifying. I'd spent my whole life on autopilot. I wasn't truly living, I was just existing, ticking boxes, meeting other people's expectations, chasing goals that seemed important at the time. And if I died that day, what would I have left behind? A house, savings, some awards that would be forgotten in a few years. The biggest lie you're probably telling yourself right now is, I have time. I'll get to it later. I hear from people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, once I make more money, then I'll be happy. After the next promotion, I'll finally relax. When the kids are older, we'll travel. On retirement, I'll do what I really love. Let me spare you decades of regret with one hard truth. That later never arrives. The bar keeps moving higher. You get the promotion, then you want the next one. You earn more, then you need even more. You're forever chasing something just out of reach. And suddenly you're 70, wondering where your life disappeared to. I did exactly that. Climbed a ladder for 30 years, only to reach the top and see it was leaning against the wrong wall. You can't climb down and start over. Time doesn't allow reruns. Here's something no one tells you when you're young. Success is a lousy life goal. I say this as someone who achieved every marker I aimed for. Made partner, bought the dream house, earned admiration, and it meant nothing. The high lasts a few days, then you're back to empty. You need a new target, bigger wins, more approval. It's an endless treadmill. I lost a friend 3 years ago at 69. Worked 70 to 80-hour weeks his whole career. Built a multi-million-dollar company. Never took a proper vacation. Always next year. Next year brought a stroke. At the funeral, his daughter said, "Dad was successful, but I hardly knew him." Is that the legacy you want? Regrets don't come from failures or mistakes. They come from what you never did. Failed deals don't haunt me. What does? The trip to Greece I kept postponing for work. The novel I wanted to write, but never started. The drifting apart from my brother over petty grudges. The evenings I miss with my kids because I was closing a deal. You think you'll have endless time with the people you love. You won't. My mother passed when I was 46. Our relationship had rough patches, and I always thought, we'll fix it when things slow down. We never did. Sudden heart failure. Gone. My deepest pain is remembering all the weekends I didn't visit, all the calls I was too busy to make, all the small moments I let slide. After my heart attack, I made drastic changes. Stepped away from the corner office. Started saying no to what drained me, yes to what I delayed for decades. In these last 20 years, I've learned more about real living than in the previous 50. What actually matters is painfully simple. Deep time with people you love. Work that means something to you personally. Experiences over possessions. Creating memories. Being fully present. I know it sounds cliche. At your age, I've rolled my eyes too. Sure, but I have bills, responsibilities, a career to build. I'm not telling you to quit tomorrow. I'm saying don't trade what truly matters for what only looks good on paper. Ask yourself this honestly. If you died tomorrow, would you feel satisfied with the life you've lived? Not would people give a nice eulogy? Or did I achieve enough? Just, are you at peace with it? If the answer is no, what exactly are you waiting for? I'm 74 now. My health has held up since that scare. But every morning I know I'm living on borrowed time. We all are. Young people just don't feel it yet. I have 4 grandchildren, and I see them repeating my old patterns. Stress, anxiety, chasing things that won't fulfill them. I try to guide them, but they can't fully hear it yet. Not because they're stubborn, but because they're in the thick of it. They think their struggles are unique, that the old rules don't apply. That's why I'm making this video. Maybe someone out there will actually listen. Maybe someone will choose differently and sidestep the regrets that still keep me awake. Every day, you're moving closer to the end. Uncomfortable fact, but true. Time isn't infinite. For you or anyone you love. Parents age. Friends, partners, kids. Nothing lasts forever. So what will you do? Keep delaying that call to your dad? Cancel that dream trip one more year? Tell yourself later will be better? Or will you finally wake up and live as if time is finite? Because it is? If I could speak to my 30-year-old self, I'd say, stop trying to impress people who don't care. Stop wrecking your health for status. Stop postponing joy for someday. Start calling your family more. Start taking those trips. Start doing what scares you. Start saying no to energy drains and yes to what lights you up. And above all, start now. Not next year. Not after the next milestone. Not when you have more money or time. Now. Perfect conditions never arrive. Life is always messy, always giving you reasons to wait. Wait too long, and you'll realize you waited your whole life away. If I'm fortunate, I have 10 or 15 years left, maybe 20. And I'm at peace with that because these past 2 decades have been the fullest. Not from more money, from finally living deliberately. Traveling to places I dreamed of, rebuilding bonds with my kids and grandkids, pursuing long-neglected passions, letting go of old resentments, saying, I love you freely. I'm happier at 74, knowing time is short, than I was at 30, thinking I have forever. That's a strange gift. When you accept time's limits, you stop wasting it. The choice is yours, right now, today. Keep chasing success and deferring happiness. Or wake up and start living the life you actually want. I can't decide for you. But trust me, you don't want to be 74, looking back with a lifetime of what-ifs. Learn from my mistakes. Live intentionally. Put first things first. Stop waiting for someday. Someday is today. It always has been. If this hits home, share it. Comment what you'll change. Subscribe. I've got more to say, and not unlimited time to say it. The clock is ticking. What will you do with yours?